maybe Cardi B is smarter than what we think, but not in a good way. Where would she have a baby right after getting out of a relationship? Mind you, they weren't even fully divorced yet, and she was in this relationship and they produced a child. You know, congratulations to her, but why would that happen? Goes on, I'm starting to realize maybe this was a long thought out plan to kind of revive her music career. Not her career, because she's doing very, very well for herself. I think she has property, she does endorsements, she does everything else but make music. In my head, maybe this was a well thought out plan to kind of help out with her career and further her reach. You're gonna have to let me get through this to understand. Let's start off with the relationship that she has with Stefon Diggs. So we all have seen their interactions, and it doesn't really look couple-ish. Like, they always look very, very awkward, almost like it's a business relationship or it's like a PR relationship, but the chemistry is so bad, you can't even fake it for the cameras. It's like they kind of have to be together whenever they're taking pictures and videos in the public. It's like they kind of have to do it. Back in December, when Stefon Diggs was accused with assault, I guess technically it hasn't been proven because he still has to go to court, and that's a whole nother topic that we're gonna get into. But he was accused of assault of another woman, a chef that was in his home. And then there were text messages that came out that Cardi B was kind of like interfering with the situation, but this was all behind the scenes. She was never doing anything in the public. She didn't publicly defend him. She didn't publicly really talk about the situation. That was just something that was done behind the scenes. When it comes to the allegations of him having other children with other women, she never really addressed it for real. She kind of made a joke out of it, but she never really full on addressed it. We get to the end of December, Christmas rolls around, Stefon Diggs is nowhere to be found. I don't really know why he was not in the pictures for Christmas. I just thought that was an interesting thing to point out, that she had a baby with a man that she was in a relationship with and he wasn't there for Christmas. Why would he not have been there if they're actually in a relationship? I don't think they're really in a relationship, so he wouldn't have been there, because that's probably not even part of the deal. Maybe the deal didn't extend to like family time in the home. It was just... I'm also gonna be doing my skincare while I'm doing this. I'm testing out this new line from Paris Hilton. The packaging is just so cute. Like on the inside, it's so cute. But anyway, for whatever reason, he's not there for Christmas, and she's distancing herself away from him. When it comes to anything negative, she just stays away and just does her own thing. Now, out of the blue, on the 25th, Cardi B is now seen again with Stefon Diggs, playing field, supporting her man as they end up, proceeding to the next level in the Super Bowl. Very, very happy. They're doing their little couple stuff. They're shown, on the tour bus being a couple. But in my eyes, the way I see it is trying to secure some kind of contract or something like that with the NFL to play at the Super Bowl with Bad Bunny. I think maybe she wants to do like a guest appearance or some kind of appearance during the halftime show. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe that is something that she's looking into, especially because she's going on tour to support her album. So how great would it be to go on tour right after being seen at the Super Bowl during the halftime performance? Like, if she's performing at the Super Bowl, imagine that kind of audience, helping her out on the tour. Maybe those people would come see her on tour. Maybe it's people that would be introduced to her music. You know what I mean? More so, it's like I'm thinking that it's like a marketing strategy for her. And mind you, I also got this idea that maybe Cardi B is with Stefon Diggs for his NFL affiliation. Now, I watched this show, Wags to Riches on Netflix, and the main character, I forgot her name, I'll probably put it on the screen, but ooh, this is really soft. The main character on the show got with Ocho Cinco, and they were engaged to get married, and as soon as, she brought out the prenup, they kind of dissolved their relationship. But from watching that, it was very clear that she got with an NFL player, or she got with... Was Ocho Cinco in the NFL? Very obvious to me that her method of finding clients for her real estate business was through people in the NFL, because those men, or the people in the NFL, have a lot of money. So that would be a great way for her to get more clients. And I think her dating Ocho Cinco was a way of like breaking into that kind of audience. And I think maybe that's the same thing that Cardi B has going on. Maybe she's also going to use the same method and try to have some kind of deal with the NFL with or through Stefon Diggs. And the best way to lock in a relationship, maybe in her mind, was to produce a baby with him. So we have a baby, we're linked together forever, and then we're gonna get a lot of like business deals and contracts through our relationship. And for Stefon Diggs, this works out really, really well for him, because any kind of man with power wants to be seen with another woman of power, even though he might not actually like the woman. Maybe he's not attracted to her. Not to say that Stefon Diggs is not attracted to her, but a lot of men in power know the power of being associated with famous or powerful women. So it ends up helping him out because it makes his profile look a lot bigger and better, like he's that guy. You know what I mean? Because to be associated with the Cardi B is going to do a lot for your career. We cannot deny that. Even if you do not like Cardi B, we all understand that she has a very, very high profile. So why would he not be connected to her? Why would he not take up the opportunity to be connected to her? A lot of people are saying that Cardi B is already in some kind of contract with the NFL because her presence does bring a different kind of audience to watch the games, because a lot of people are going to turn on the NFL just to see her interaction with Stefon Diggs. Like, her fans are going to be tuned in to these games. So maybe she is receiving some kind of coin from the NFL to be showing up and promoting it as much as she is. The same way that Taylor Swift has this kind of, well, I think they're married now, or they're engaged. But the same way Taylor Swift brought her audience over when, her relationship became public and she's seen at the games and cheering for her man and whatever. I think maybe the NFL wanted that on the Black audience side, and they went over to get a Cardi B. Cardi B is really, really popular in the Black community. She's, I guess, somewhat comparable to maybe Taylor Swift in the white community, if that makes sense. Not really, but kind of, you get my point. But I think all in all, Cardi B is a businesswoman, and everything that she does, for the most part, has to be related to getting some kind of money or like monetary gain. Mind you, a couple years ago when the whole BLM movement was like really, really popular, she made a statement. It was very brief. I'll probably insert the clip here, but she made a very brief statement saying that she will not be supporting the NFL until Colin Kaepernick comes back. Remember that whole like kneeling situation? She made it clear that she wasn't going to watch it. She wasn't going to participate. And here she is years later, heavily participating with the NFL and possibly seeking some kind of arrangement where she's going to perform. Why would that be the case? If something is true to yourself, true to your morals, true to what you believe in, that's what you stand on. And it's not like she made any kind of statement saying that, now she's okay with the NFL, that they've made changes, or she now sees how the NFL is being more supportive of Black people. Like, it's not like she said anything like that from then till now. So like, what was the change? What was the change? What was the change? Right now, I think Cardi B is still in her rollout era. I don't think that she's ever really stopped. And I think that having the baby was somewhat part of her rollout for her music career. Sad to say, some people still do have babies to kind of like project their careers. Maybe her other children were just like out of like pure love and where she was at the time. But right now, she's really in her comeback era. And I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is. I think the whole, assault situation with Stefon Diggs was not part of the plan, but you kind of just have to roll with the punches. Once you're already locked into whatever you want to do, you kind of have to just roll with it. And her way of rolling with it was to ignore it and then to come back when things are good, because that's all she really cares about. She just cares about the highlights. She just cares about where the money is going to be flowing in. And this is where the money is going to flow in, is through the NFL, through Stefon Diggs. And how do you secure a relationship with Stefon Diggs without marrying him? A baby, I guess, in her eyes. So let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think that Stefon Diggs' relationship is just PR? Do you think it's just business? Do you think she actually did care about him and the baby was just like made by accident because they were just having fun, or do you think there was a purpose to having a baby? I also want to know if you guys think that the NFL is helping out with this relationship. Do you think that Cardi B is receiving any kind of money to be in a relationship with Stefon Diggs from the NFL? And do you think she's actually going to play at the halftime show? Do you guys think she's going to get that or not? Let me know in the comments. Talk to you guys in the comments. Bye. I'll see you in the next one.